Welcome back, class 9, to the online bio classes. Today we are going to start a new chapter, number 6, respiration in plants. You already know that respiration is the process by which energy is released. It is a destructive process in which there is breakdown of organic molecules, that is glucose, in the presence of oxygen to produce energy. And it is of two types depending on the presence or absence of oxygen. Like if oxygen is present, it is called aerobic respiration, and if oxygen is not present, such a respiration is called anaerobic respiration. We will study about the differences between aerobic and anaerobic respiration, then the equation of respiration. But let's start with the beginning, introduction part. During photosynthesis, plants make their food and they change carbon dioxide, water into a useful substance, that is glucose, which provides food to all the animals or to all the consumers which are present on earth. Now during this process, they store this food, that is, if the plants make food by photosynthesis, they will produce glucose. Some of the glucose they can utilize for themselves, and the remaining extra glucose is stored in the form of starch in different organs of the plant. Okay? And when we, the consumers or the herbivores, carnivores, when the herbivores feed on the plants, they will get that energy which is stored inside them. Okay? Now, animals will oxidize the high energy molecules like glucose into low energy molecules in the presence of oxygen. Means when the animals will consume that glucose, they will break down this complex glucose and release energy in their body cells by the process called respiration. So all living cells, whether it is plant cells or animal cells, they will carry out the process of respiration, and during this process glucose is oxidized. That is the equation I will write first, C6H12O6. This is the formula of glucose when combines with 6 molecules of oxygen in the presence of enzymes. Respiration is a very slow process. It is an enzyme catalyzed process, means it occurs in the presence of enzymes. So you can write enzymes here. Glucose plus oxygen gives 6 molecules of carbon dioxide plus 6 molecules of water, plus energy is released. This energy is in two forms, chemical energy called ATP and the heat energy also. Okay? So you can see energy is written how much in the book? 38 ATP. 38 molecules of ATP is produced. ATP stands for adenosine triphosphate, which is also known as energy currency of the cell. Means the cells will utilize or spend energy in the form of ATP only. So what is this one? This one is the equation of respiration. What type of respiration? Because oxygen is there, so it's better to say this is the chemical equation of aerobic respiration. Aerobic respiration. So if asked in the examination, write the equation for aerobic respiration, this one only you will write, or what is the overall chemical equation of respiration, then only this equation only you should write. Okay? Because this is the general equation for respiration. Now, breakdown of simple compounds in the living cells with the release of energy is called respiration, and simple carbohydrates like glucose are the one which undergo respiration, and the whole process may be represented by this equation. Now what are the different steps of respiration? How it is completed? The process of respiration is completed, so I will write like this: respiration is completed in two parts. What are they? First one is glycolysis, second one is Krebs cycle. So where is glycolysis? Where does the Krebs cycle occurs? Glycolysis. and the second one is Krebs cycle, K-R-E-B, Krebs cycle. The entire process of respiration is completed in two steps. What are they? Glycolysis and Krebs cycle. Two phases are there. So breakdown occurs in the presence of particular enzyme. So what happens during glycolysis? Where does it occur? The answer is glyco means here glucose, lysis means breakdown. So breakdown of glucose occurs during glycolysis. It is the incomplete breakdown of glucose. Means glucose molecules are not completely burnt or oxidized. So incomplete breakdown of glucose. And where does it occur? It occurs in the cytoplasm. Now, what is Krebs cycle? It is complete oxidation or breakdown of glucose. Here you will write, okay? And what happens during Krebs cycle? Where does it occur? Like glycolysis occurs in the cytoplasm. Krebs cycles occur in the mitochondria. Mitochondria is the name of the cell organelle which is the site of respiration. And because energy is released in mitochondria, that's why they are also known as the powerhouse of the cell, because they generate power or energy inside them. Okay. Now next, glycolysis is the incomplete breakdown of glucose molecules. It occurs in the cytoplasm of a cell in the absence of oxygen. So third point, if you want to write, absence of oxygen, no oxygen. This one occurs in the absence of oxygen. And this Krebs cycle, it occurs in the presence of oxygen. Fourth difference, if you want to write, that also you can write, only 2 ATP molecules are produced during the glycolysis. During Krebs cycles, the number of ATP molecules which are formed is 36 ATP molecules are formed. So 4 differences we learned, isn't it, between both of them. Now, next we'll study is, okay, so I'll try to write down the equation of glycolysis. I said the first point, incomplete breakdown of glucose occurs in glycolysis. It takes place in the cytoplasm in the absence of oxygen. Okay, already written here. And the fourth point I said, only 2 ATP is formed here. And here how many ATP is formed? It results in the formation of 36 ATPs. Total how many ATPs are formed? 36 ATP. Here 2 ATP, there 36 ATP. This one in the absence of oxygen, that one in the presence of oxygen. This one in cytoplasm, that one in mitochondria. This one is incomplete breakdown, this one is complete breakdown. Complete breakdown of glucose. So like this difference is easy to learn. Now the equation of this one, glycolysis, if you have to write, C6H12O6, that is glucose. Because there is no oxygen, in the absence of oxygen, so no need to write here plus 6O2. Directly you write, in the presence of enzymes, both of them occur. So name of the enzyme is also not mentioned here. What it results in the formation of? It results in the formation of CH3COOH. This one COOH is the functional group of acid. It is called pyruvic acid. Okay? It is known as pyruvic acid. Or pyruvate also it is called, plus it results in the formation of 2 molecules of ATP. Very less amount of energy is produced. Why? Because it is incomplete breakdown. Like if you burn a piece of paper and if it is not burning completely nicely, if the paper is wet, it will not burn first of all, and second it will produce very less amount of heat energy. But if the same paper is dry, if you burn it, it will burn very fast and completely it will burn and produce large amount of light and heat energy. So just like that you can compare between glycolysis and the Krebs cycle. So here the glucose molecule, in the absence of oxygen, it oxidizes, or no, it's better to say, it breaks down to form pyruvic acid. The formula is CH3COOH. In the book also mentioned. 2 molecules of pyruvic acid is formed, that is for balancing of equation, and 2 molecules of ATP is produced. Now next one is Krebs cycle. In the Krebs cycle, two molecules of pyruvic acid. They will move in the mitochondria of the cell, plant cell, and it will carry out the process of complete oxidation of glucose molecules. Okay, so what I was saying is, during Krebs cycle, these two molecules of pyruvic acid, they will enter in mitochondria, they will combine with mitochondria. So if I write the equation of Krebs cycle, 2CH3COCOOH, this is pyruvic acid, two molecules combines with 6 molecules of oxygen in the presence of enzymes to produce 6 molecules of carbon dioxide plus 6 molecules of water plus 36 molecules of ATP. So if you combine both the equations, 36 plus 2, it will be 38 ATPs are formed. Okay, so we can sum up both the reactions and then we can write one reaction, the one which I had written in the beginning, that will be the reaction for respiration. Now, thus in the process of respiration, the total amount of energy which is released, 36 plus these 2 and this 36, if you add them, it will become 38 molecules of ATP is formed. Okay, this much energy is produced during respiration. Now, respiration and burning. If you try to learn the differences between them, how they are similar or how they are different from each other. Both respiration and burning needs oxygen. Respiration is also a process which occurs only in the living cells, but burning can occur both in the living as well as dead cells. Respiration is a biochemical process, whereas burning or oxidation is a physical process, physiochemical process. In respiration, energy is released in several steps, but during burning, energy is released all at a time. For respiration, oxygen is required. Yeah, for burning also oxygen is required. That is similarity, you will write. Okay. Next one is during respiration, very little amount of energy is produced, but during burning, large amount of energy is produced. Respiration occurs in the presence of enzymes. Enzymes are required, which can alter or change the rate of reaction. But for burning, enzymes are not needed. Okay. Respiration can produce 38 molecules, like the energy which is produced is in the form of ATP. That is a chemical energy, biochemical energy. But during burning, energy will be released in the form of either light energy or heat energy. In respiration, that light energy is not produced. Now, next one, during respiration, there is no formation of ash. Like if you burn a piece of paper or wood or coal, ash will be produced, the end product. But during respiration, such ash is not produced. So learn the differences. Write this table in your copy and learn it. On page number is 52, and differences between respiration and burning. Okay. Now next topic is ATP is the energy currency of cell. You know what is ATP? ATP stands for adenosine triphosphate. It is called energy currency of the cell because the cells utilize energy in the form of ATP only. Now, when energy is stored inside the body cells, it is stored in the form of ADP, that is adenosine diphosphate. ADP. ADP stands for, the full form is adenosine. Di means, D means di. Di, P means phosphate. Adenosine diphosphate. Alright? So when it combines with inorganic phosphate, IP, I am writing here in your book also, PI is written or IP. So this I indicates inorganic phosphate. Inorganic phosphate. That is the meaning of IP. So when ADP combines with PI or IP, it gives rise to ATP. This process of formation of ATP is called phosphorylation. So forming an ATP molecule, ATP is produced inside the mitochondria during the process of respiration, and energy is stored in the form of ATP. So stored form of energy is ATP. When the plants or the animals need to utilize that energy, so utilized form of energy is ADP. Okay, so when the energy required, ATP is converted into ADP, adenosine diphosphate. But when it is needed to store that energy, it will be in the form of ATP. So they are interconvertible, means ATP can change into ADP and ADP can convert back into ATP. So ADP has lower amount of energy as compared to ATP because it has only two inorganic phosphate, diphosphate it is, so 2 molecules of phosphate. Here 3 molecules of phosphate is present. Okay, so ATP, you can see one equation there in the book, adenosine triphosphate. This is called reversible reaction. The symbol of reversible reaction is there. ATP can be converted into ADP plus PI, that is inorganic phosphates. This equation shows that ATP can convert into ADP and ADP plus PI can change back into the ATP. So such a chemical reaction is called interconvertible reaction. Means the reversible reaction is better to say the word reversible reaction. Means either the reactants can give the product or the products can combine together to form the reactants. Both way it is possible. Okay. Now how plants get oxygen for respiration? This is a question mark asked in the book. For the process of respiration, oxygen is one of the raw materials. And you know that plants can get this oxygen, they can produce this oxygen during the process of photosynthesis. Okay, so when the plants produce oxygen as a byproduct during photosynthesis, they will use some of this oxygen for the process of respiration, and the remaining oxygen molecules they will diffuse outside into the atmosphere through the stomata. So stomata is the main organ through which they can take in the gases, that is the oxygen, which is required for the process of respiration. Number 2, lenticels, the second opening which is found, it is the tiny pores which are present on the hard old woody stems. Lenticels remain open throughout day and night, as compared to stomata, which opens only in the daytime. And the third one is the general surface of the roots through which the plants can take oxygen for the process of respiration. So by the process of photosynthesis, green plants will make oxygen, and some of this is used in respiration for doing their work. After that, you can see some experiments are there on page number 54 and 55. After that, we have the types of respiration. So one experiment is to show that heat is given out during respiration. For carrying out this experiment, we need thermos flask and we need some gram seed or any other seed. So we take the germinating seeds in one of the flask like this. One of the thermos flask contains germinating seeds in it. The seeds are present which are germinating or sprouting. Okay. Another thermos flask is there in which we keep the seeds which are dead or boiled seeds which cannot carry out the process of respiration. Then we have also introduced thermometers in both of them. Thermometer is there. Here also we have introduced thermometer to record the temperature. This one is set up A, this one is set up B. We find that the seeds which are germinating, undergoing germination, they will undergo respiration also. So when they will respire, they will produce heat energy. So that heat can be recorded with the help of this thermometer. It means germinating seeds undergo respiration, whereas the boiled seeds, the one which is killed by boiling, they will not show any changes in the temperature. So I will directly read out the result. Soaked seeds are capable of performing aerobic respiration. The dead seeds will not carry out the process of respiration. So the result is heat is produced during respiration. So flasks are kept upside down so that, why the flasks are kept like this position? Why not in the upright position? Why upside down? The answer is to ensure the supply of oxygen to the respiring seeds so that oxygen can reach inside them. Okay. Now next is, because carbon dioxide is heavier, it will settle downward and leave space for oxygen in the air to rise up. So oxygen will be present in the upper part only. Now first experiment is this one, to show heat is given out during respiration. The second experiment is to show that oxygen is consumed and carbon dioxide is given out during respiration. For this we need to do an experimental setup in which we take a potted plant and then we use a chemical called lime water. We find that the color of lime water changes to milky color. So what does it indicate? Milky color of lime water confirms the presence of carbon dioxide gas, because when lime water comes in contact with carbon dioxide, its color changes to milky color, and that carbon dioxide was produced by the plants during the process of respiration. Okay, you can see in the previous setup, like I will show you the book only. In this one, can you see the experimental part? In this part, this particular bottle, the lime water is as it is, no color changes. But here the lime water, you can see what is the color of the lime water. Once the, like in one of them, the bottle, the lime water color will change to milky color. Whichever it is set, the air will go inside, passing through one of the lime water bottle. That air will not change the color, but once it enters the plants will carry out the process of respiration. They will generate carbon dioxide. And one more thing you can see, caustic potash is written there, and air is, inlet is shown here. Sorry, one second, I will show you this diagram. See here, air enters through this flask. This one, here it is shown inlet. So air enters from this one, this tube. Can you see? Air enters from this one. This air contains the caustic potash is kept in this U-shaped bent tube. The function of that caustic potash is to absorb the carbon dioxide, because if carbon dioxide, air is a mixture of gases, so if carbon dioxide containing air goes inside that, then the experiment cannot be done. So without carbon dioxide, the air passes. I will show you. I will try to draw it. Maybe the diagram will not be nice, but it will be accurate. No need to worry. Okay. So here in one of the bottle, we have kept a potted plant. Okay. Potted plant is there. Now this is connected to a tube. It is connected to a bottle. This bottle contains lime water. Okay. From here also you can see this tube enters inside it. Inside this one. Now from here another tube arises. Now it comes in a bottle again. Once again, this bottle contains lime water. Then one more connection has been made here. It goes to a U-shaped arm, like this U-tube is there. Not the U-tube, the one in which you are watching the videos and all. This U-shaped tube, it is called U-tube. Okay. And here the air goes inside. The air enters. Now it's nice. Now you can see in this experiment, first the air enters into this U-shaped arm. U-tube it is called, because the glass tube only, but U-shaped. This air goes, here is a mixture of gases, and it contains a chemical called caustic potash, KOH. You can see that KOH, caustic potash is written, no? Caustic potash is written there. The function of this caustic potash, okay, yeah, air from the atmosphere comes through the soda lime, so that CO2 contents of the air gets absorbed in the soda lime. So soda lime or caustic potash which is there, the function of this one is to absorb carbon dioxide. So carbon dioxide gas is absorbed. Now air is without carbon dioxide, it comes inside this lime water. So there is no changes in the lime water. So here the color of lime water will be as it is, no changes. Now this air enters inside this tube, then it comes in this apparatus where the plant is kept. This plant will carry out respiration, produce CO2 gas, and this CO2 containing gas will enter through this tube, and then it will come in this lime water, and now this lime water will change the color. So it will become milky color. So change of this lime water color to milky color confirms that CO2 is produced by the plants during the process of respiration. Okay, so today up to here only. In the next class we can continue with the third experiment and the types of respiration. Okay, and one more thing, in the previous chapter question answers you can check once. If you have done, I will say the answer. Page 49, review questions. Select the correct option. Number 1, answer is epigale. Number 2, water. Number 3, inner integument. Number 2 is water and pollen tube, both are correct. So if you want, you can mark both of them. That is, the micropyle in a seed helps in the entry of water also and pollen tube also. But if only one answer you want to write water only. Then number 4 is number C answer, oil. Number 5 answer is oxygen, and number 6 is epicotyle. Fill in the blanks. Number 1 is cotyledons. Number 2 endospermic. Number 3 non-endospermic and dicotyledonous. Number 5 is the embryo having 2 embryonic leaves is called dicots. Number 5 answer is epigale. Number 6 is hypogale. Then match the following. Number 1 is C, number 2 is A, and number 3 is B. So after watching the video, you can like and write your comments in the comments section. Thank you.